to the United States. We have advanced weapons that you don't have, and we could destroy you. That was basically the message. If you don't back off right now with what your plans are, that's the message, because NATO may have just crossed the red line in Ukraine, and we're watching now to see the biggest, maybe the biggest Russian response, like what that response will look like. This is a big developing story in Ukraine at this hour, and it could be a push towards World War III. Specifically, NATO, led by the United States and Britain, just introducing depleted uranium tank shells into the fight, which of course Russia warned about weeks ago, and as recently as a few days ago said this is a red line you cannot cross. In a second, I mean, the US has actually been pretty quiet about this. The UK government has actually been pretty vocal about this, and we're going to show you the video where these depleted uranium shells are caught on camera in a big propaganda piece by the British government. Like, here's our training of these Ukrainians and their tanks. Oh, and here's some depleted uranium shells, which when unleashed on a population causes cancer for generations to come. Again, I dare you to Google the term depleted uranium Iraq and look at the awful photos of children from Iraq from using depleted uranium shells and the tumors and the awful stuff. So that's coming in Ukraine. But first, before we even get there, the UN Security Council just voted on Russia's resolution to create a UN commission to investigate the largest ecological terror attack in world history, the bombing of the Nord Stream pipeline. Let's watch this vote. So here was the vote. Here is the vote. All right, how many of you in favor? How many of you in favor? Okay, we got 1, we got 2, and 3. Okay, you got China, Russia, and Brazil in favor. How many opposed to the investigation of the Nord Stream pipeline? How many of you are opposed? How many of you are opposed or abstain? How many of you and... Oh, all of you! All of you pieces of shit don't want an investigation.
No, thank you.
What world am I living in? What is happening in this clown world? I mean, we all knew that the United States carried out the bombing of the Nord Stream pipeline. You have to be an idiot to think otherwise. But they insist they didn't. Wouldn't it be an amazing opportunity for them to clear their name? Right? We had a UN investigation with all of these countries. Got us off the hook. We'll show you that depleted uranium footage in a second, but here's an eagle-eyed observer caught the depleted uranium shells in the video. So this is a screen grab from the video. Here you can see them sitting on the table and some of those shells. So you can see that there. The US denies supplying depleted uranium ammunition to Ukraine, and yet here are those shells. Here's a U.S. soldier in Britain teaching Ukrainian troops about these tank shells. So this is a U.S. soldier. They are doing the training, pointing them out and instructing them how to load them, how to be familiar with them, showing them the different ammunition types, these depleted uranium rounds that are being supplied to Ukraine. Watch.
And one track will be slightly looser, one track will be one tighter.
So there you can see the shells on the table. As he was explaining how these things load, how they explode.
The only other thing I would say, only because they were
Americans.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's an American accent.
Yeah, so Americans explaining how these different shells work.
Okay, so as you can see then, it's yellow, which denotes it's got high explosive content inside it.
And Russia just issued a